The Liberia Vice President, you can see him there, Liberia Vice President. He just came out to shock Liberians and Africans. The Liberian Vice President is confirming that Nigeria has 4 commercial banks in Liberia. 4 massive commercial banks that are controlling the Liberian banking industry. You understand? This is a very shocking information that many Africans do not know. Many Ghanaians, many South Africans, all of us in Africa, we don't know that this is what Nigerians are doing in other African countries. Go to Sierra Leone. See how much investment Nigeria has got in Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone government literally gave out one of their major mineral resources, I think it's oil, to a Nigerian who is currently mining the oil in Sierra Leone. We have seen Tanzania leave South Africa beside them to go and beg Nigerians to come and invest in Tanzania. We have seen banks in Kenya decide to say, no, we better sell out these banks to Nigerians because they can manage it better. So we cannot even control or count the number of African countries where Nigerians are playing a key role in their banking sector, in their resources sector, in their automobile sector. We can no longer count the number of Nigerians that are changing Africa. Before, we used to talk of Dangote. When we talk, we always say Dangote, because Dangote owns cement plants in almost every African country, cement factories. He owns it in Cameroon. Dangote owns a factory he owns it in South Africa. Owns multiple businesses in Ghana. This is what Nigerians are doing. For the Liberian president to come out, because he's the president, the vice president is the president. Liberian president begging Nigerians to come and invest in Liberia. This is massive. This sends a massive and a powerful message. This sends a strong message to all Africans who are looking down on Nigeria. Because why would other African countries be begging Nigeria to come and invest in their country if they didn't see potentials, if they didn't see values, if they didn't see the significance of what Nigerians are doing? So are you telling me now that those of you who say you don't want Nigerian immigrants, South Africa in particular, I want to ask you a question. So South Africa, where you say you don't like Nigerian immigrants, you say you don't want Nigerian immigrants in your country. Are you now telling me that you are smarter than Liberia president, or Liberia president I be Mumu? Is a Mumu president to say, Nigerians, welcome, come. This is what we have in this country. Right now, I already acknowledge the fact that you guys have 4 commercial banks. I don't even want to mention Ghana in this banking issue, because we all know that the only bank that Ghana that is not owned by Nigeria in Ghana is the Ghanaian Central Bank. The only bank in Ghana that is not owned by Nigeria is the Ghanaian Central Bank. That is fact. Every other bank in Ghana, all their biggest banks, is either owned by Nigeria completely, or Nigerians are part of the administration running and managing the banks. They are so successful. They are so good. They are so excellent wherever they go. They make things go ahead. They achieve incredible success. So why would South Africa say you don't want Nigerians? Why would any African country say you don't want Nigerians in your country, when you are clearly seeing what they are doing in other countries? This doesn't make sense to me. When I saw this from the Liberia president, I said, no, I must check, because maybe this Liberia president now, they made mistake. Maybe he's thinking that he's inviting by South Africans. Maybe somebody needs to call him. Somebody should tell him that it's not South Africans, it's Nigerians he's inviting to come. The same Nigerians, everybody, they claim, I don't want to see them, I don't want to see them, I don't want to see them. So what exactly is making the Liberia president to invite Nigeria? One thing you have to know is the decision to call Nigerians to Liberia was not made by the vice president alone. Before the vice president come out and give public statements, public speech, a remark, it means that they sat in the Senate, they sat in their general administration, they decided that no, what is good for Liberia is Nigerian investors. What is good for us in this country is the Nigerian, because they have proven it in the banking sector with 4 major banks in the commercial sector of Liberia, and all the banks are doing well. Nothing. Liberia, you didn't yet complain that Nigerians are doing this, Nigerians are doing that, Nigerians. No complaint at all. That's why they said we will call them. The same thing with Tanzania. Uganda self, they call the same bank give Nigeria. So There's definitely something wrong with people who think that Nigerians are not good people. Something is wrong with those people. If you see anybody, any country that you see, they are busy chasing out Nigerians or busy hating on Nigerians, just know that that country has a very big problem. And each of those countries, Ghana, they have a problem. I can tell you their problem. Envy, jealousy. And they are going nowhere with it. Their country, whenever they pull Nigeria out of something, that sector goes down. The same thing with South Africa. They don't even know what is happening in their country because their white government, their white supremacists, they just want to push the blacks out so that they can control everything. They know that the South Africa said, "Na mumu person go, whatever they tell them, they will believe, they will do." So that's what Africans need to be aware of. That's why Africans need to wake up and be wise that African countries need African investors. African country, we don't need Chinese investors. We don't need European investors. Nigeria has billionaires. Africa has African billionaires who are very, very wealthy that can invest in Africa. We no longer need America, European billionaires. That's what some African countries are realizing. Instead of them to go and bring America billionaire, Chinese billionaire, UK billionaire, they say no. Let's bring our fellow black billionaire. Let us bring a Nigerian billionaire. Let us bring Nigerians that have the money. Because if they invest in our country, they are investing in our interest. They'll make money, but it will be for our own gain, for the common interest of Africa, for the common interest of the black man. Any African country that the biggest investors are Europeans, check if the countries are making any progress. Check if the countries are doing anything. I tell you, nothing is happening in those countries, right? But when you now look at the African countries that are really making good progress, you see that majority of those countries, they have local investors, African investors that are changing the narratives in those countries. So I'm very, very happy. It's very, very good to celebrate the positive things that are coming. When I see Liberia president begging Nigerians to come and invest in their country, for me, it's a big win for Africa, man. It's not just a win for Nigeria. It's a win for Africa, and this is what every African country should be doing. It is what it is. Your boy Ajim Magzi on this one again. Come back anytime you're free, guys. God bless you all. Cheers.